All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are breaking down Chiefs linebacker Leo Chenal. Chenal has emerged as quite the defensive playmaker for this Kansas City defense, and we've got a great setup of cut-ups regarding his performance against the Miami Dolphins. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us a comment with any feedback you might have, but without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's start off with the run defense. There is Chenal right there at linebacker. The Miami Dolphins are going to be running an outside sweep this direction, but they do a really cool design here. The Miami Dolphins are one of the more smartly run offensive football teams. They're going to bring the tight end in motion here. Let me clean up the screen for you there. They're going to bring the tight end in motion here, and he's going to be the lead blocker on the corner, and they're going to take the wide receiver and kind of do a crackback style block on Chenal right there. This puts a lot of pressure on Chenal because he's obviously eyeing the sweep here, but he's also got to eye the guy coming in to block him. Watch what he does here. This is a really nice play from the linebacker. You can see the motion man. You can see him come across, and you see right there, he's coming in to lead on the corner right there. You can see the wide receiver on the outside of the bottom of your screen. Comes right at Chenal, but watch Chenal here. He sees it right away out of the corner of his eye, dips underneath it really athletically. That's a nice job. But one thing you have to do in this situation, if you dip underneath, you've got to quickly flatten out and get in position to make the tackle. That's exactly what he does. Watch this. Completely gets back out wide, helps finish the tackle. Great work from Chenal. He kind of actually feeds off his defensive tackle getting blocked there as well. Kind of just gets hammered around a little bit, but keeps a good angle, keeps a good pursuit, and gets in on the tackle. That is an outstanding run defense. Because anytime you have a receiver or anybody really blocking in space on a linebacker on an outside run, you're kind of taught as a blocker, if he runs underneath you, then that's almost acceptable because there's very few linebackers that are athletic enough to run underneath a block and then immediately flatten out and make the tackle. But Chenal proves it right here. Goes underneath, comes across, makes a tackle. Nice rep. Let's take a look from here from the end zone view right there. Again, you can see Chenal. Look how far he is inside. He's actually going to bounce out right there, but he's an A-gap defender right there between the center and the guard, and he's got to get all the way on the outside to help defend against the sweep. Watch how he immediately gets running, and right there you can see right there, he's got his eye on the running back. He's sprinting, but right here he recognizes the receiver coming in to block him, ducks underneath real quick, flattens out, helps finish the play. Awesome rep. This is an outstanding work from Chenal. Again, watch this. He's got his eye on the sweep right there on the runner. He sees the receiver coming to block him, takes a step inside, plays off his own guy right there, immediately flattens out, and gets in on the tackle. There's very few linebackers, let alone young linebackers at this point in their careers, to make plays like this. Chenal stepping up like this, huge for the Chiefs, especially with their injuries. He's got a bright future in front of him. All right, sticking with run defense, there is Chenal right there. So the Chiefs' defensive structure that Coach Spagnuolo really liked to use against the Miami Dolphins was kind of a 5-down look where they had the 3 real standard defensive linemen, but they walked up 2 outside linebackers or outside edge players here because they wanted more speed on the field, obviously, against a team like Miami that's got a lot of speed. But this is another example of Chenal being a great athlete. The Dolphins are going to bring a receiver from the outside to crack back block on Chenal right there. They're going to try and get outside right here with Mostert, who is one of the fastest players in all of football. Again, watch how Chenal is able to play off the block and make the tackle. This is an incredible feat of athleticism from the young defender. You get the motion, and right there you can see the slot receiver coming in right off the right side of your screen, and he gets right into the chest of Chenal, but watch him just immediately bounce off, immediately flatten out, and make the tackle. Outstanding work from Chenal. We've seen a lot of teams, a lot of linebackers in these situations. They may be able to fight off the blocks from the wide receivers, but very few players have this speed to get off and tackle Mostert like that. We've seen a lot of people against this Miami football team with all the speed they have. Right there, they get blocked, but they immediately are out-leveraged because the Miami Dolphins are generally so fast. But Chenal's fast enough to hang with them. And this can be the difference, right? Because if you can imagine Chenal not making this play, if I freeze it right here, and let's say imagine Chenal's right here and he's a step behind, you've got Mostert right there. He's got running room for at least another 5 yards. Maybe he even cut back behind these blocks and maybe break it out for a long run. I mean, this is what the Dolphins offense has done to a lot of teams a lot this season. But again, Mostert doesn't even get a chance to get out in the field and show off his amazing speed because Chenal fights off a block and makes a tackle. This is what makes the Chiefs defense so tough. It's because they have a couple stars like Chris Jones that can make a lot of big plays up front, big sacks, big negative plays. But the ability for some of their supporting players like Chenal, who's really stepping up in the absence of guys like Nick Bolton, who's also a star in his own right, to turn a play that a lot of teams like the Dolphins would think of this as maybe a chance to break a big play into a 4-yard run. All right, switching up to pass coverage, there is Chenal right there in a more standard linebacker situation here. And this is one of the things about playing defense, and certainly linebacker in today's NFL, that's pretty tough because a lot of offenses, certainly the Miami Dolphins are one of them, is all about misdirection. You can already see one guy coming in motion there. He's going to work across this formation. But watch Chenal react to this motion, potentially play the run, and then adjust and get out in pass coverage and eliminate Tua's primary target. Really nice job from Chenal right here. Let's check out how he does. So you can see the motion man right there. You can again see Chenal react to the motion. Handoff inside. He's got a step right here to watch to see what's going on with the running play. But he's got Alec Ingold, the fullback. And let me go back to the very beginning here. Here's Alec Ingold, number 30 for the Miami Dolphins. He's actually going to watch him coming across the formation. Look how he looks at the eye candy. He takes a gap over because that's his responsibility there in motion. But he sees Alec Ingold coming and immediately reacts and immediately takes him away. Look how he navigates through this trash to this receiver coming across too. I love this design for the Miami Dolphins because this play is fully designed for Alec Ingold, the fullback, to get open. They're really just trying to get number 30 to work across the formation here because they're trying to get everybody flowing this way because they have the motion this way, running back this way. All the offensive linemen are going this way, right? They're trying to get the entire defense flowing that way so that way Alec Ingold can sneak out in the flat here. And just in case a guy like Chenal's smart enough to see it, they bring the receiver across this way to create like a pick play as well. But Chenal's able to fight through everything. You can see him react to it, fight through the pick play, and take away Tua's primary option. Tua does a really nice job here avoiding the sack because a lot of quarterbacks take like a 12, 15-yard loss here, spins out of it, is able to complete a ball to Tyreek Hill because the corner fell down on the coverage. But that's not Chenal's fault, right? Good job here. Eliminates Alec Ingold because these are one of these plays right here where teams like the Dolphins like to run. It's kind of a gimme play to just because a defense will do everything they can, right? They'll try and take away Mostert. They'll try and take away Tyreek Hill. They'll try and take away Jalen Waddle. And then a team like the Dolphins will spring their fullback loose for a 20-yard completion because people lose track of them. The Dolphins really like to run plays like this all the time, just try and get easy chunk plays, right? Because as good as they are offensively with their skill players, sometimes you just want easy reads for the quarterback. But Chenal takes it away. Granted, they missed the sack. Corner falls down, so Tua is able to get a completion. But I look back on plays like this from Chenal's perspective. This is winning football. A lot of offense like to run schemes like these, and if Chenal can take this away, he can do it away for other teams as well. This is a great sign for the Chiefs defense. All right, going back to a run defense, there's Chenal right there on the left side of your screen. This is a play from the Miami Dolphins where it ends up being a kind of simple, kind of running concept, but there is so much eye candy in motion that it can really screw up the linebackers here and potentially give the opportunity for a big play for the offense. And here's what I mean by this. You see the tight end coming in motion right here at the snap. They're actually going to get a wide receiver at the snap, loop around two here like it's a reverse. They're going to get this tight end right here coming across at the snap to kick out on the end man line of scrimmage. So you have all kind of action going on right here. If you're one of these linebackers, if you're 23, 50, if you're one of these guys, even the safeties, you're going to see motion this way, you're going to see this motion this way, you're going to receiver motion that way, and it ends up being, when it's all said and done, just a very simple running play right in this gap right here where they're just trying to get bodies on bodies. But the key play is going to be Chenal. He's going to be one-on-one on this tackle here because they're trying to run right off the tackle right in that direction. This is a situation from Chenal. He's isolated one-on-one on a right tackle. And this is where the Dolphins are so smart. All of this eye candy is basically just to set up a mismatch in their mind. Their right tackle on a linebacker. But Chenal wins the matchup and comes up with a big play. Let's check out how he does. All right, you can see the motion, right? You can already see some of the reverse action. Look at all that. Look at all this stuff going on. You got the tight end coming across. You have the motion man right there. You see Tyreek Hill orbiting around. Right? A lot of these guys are freezing for a second. Look at Willie Gay, number 50. I mean, he's kind of lost here in all this motion. Right? He's trying to jump around, read. He has no idea what's going on. Ends up getting knocked down. This is what the Dolphins can do to you because of all this emotion they have going on. Drew Tranquil right there. He's kind of looking around. He does a good job reading it, but he even gets caught in his own guy coming across trying to defend the reverse. So it all gets on Chenal right here, right? Because there's the hole. There's the chance right there for a big play. Tranquil's right there. He has a chance to make the play, but he's in a lot of garbage right there. That's a tough play. But watch Chenal going back to the very beginning here. One-on-one on the right tackle. Takes him on, beats him, makes a tackle. Limited gain. This is the things, right? This is how you can play good football and beat good teams even when your offense is struggling a little bit because this is just a really crazy design scheme for the Miami Dolphins, but it's worked for them all year long. But if you have a linebacker going one-on-one on an offensive lineman at the line of scrimmage and you can win that matchup, it doesn't matter how great your scheme is. It doesn't matter all the motions. It doesn't matter all the pre-snap, post-snap, all the formation shifts, all the eye candy, you name it. If you have a linebacker that can win a supposed mismatch for the offense and make the tackle like this and beat a right tackle at the point of attack, you're going to win a lot of football games, right? This is why the Chiefs still are the team to beat in the NFL. I know Patrick Mahomes is still spectacular. Kelsey is still Kelsey. But when your defense can make plays like this, especially from a young linebacker, filling in a lot from an injured player, in a situation, big game against a good football team, there's not a team that can do this. There's not a team that can sub in a reserve linebacker, a young defender, get in a mismatched situation, and it ends up being a win for the defense. The Chiefs are so dangerous because of plays like this and players like Chenal. All right, going with the wide view, there is Chenal right there. You can see, obviously, the Miami Dolphins are in an empty backfield. Once again, they're using motion, bringing the running back out of the flat. The Chiefs are just dropping into zone coverage, kind of looks here across the board. And basically, this is a situation right here from a young linebacker. You have to take away your responsibility. And, of course, you're going to get any receiver that comes into your zone. It's going to be your responsibility. But I love how he reacts to Tua scrambling outside of the pocket and immediately and assertively going after him to negate the potential of a big scramble or a big throw downfield. Let's check out how Chenal handles this. I think this is an outstanding rep from the young linebacker. You can see the snap. You can see everyone dropping in his zone. You see Chenal seeing the crossing pattern work underneath him. Takes him. Nice job right there. But again, you see all this green grass to the Tua's right here. He starts taking off right here. In this situation, if you're the linebacker, one of the problems I see from a lot of defenders, a lot of young defenders, is they're indecisive. They look around. Okay, is there someone in my zone? Should I stay with them? Or should I just kind of go to the quarterback but not really commit to the quarterback and maybe take just a few steps to my left? And in situations like that, that gives the quarterback more time to either scramble for a good gain or to potentially have a receiver break open. Because if you keep playing this, there's Tyreek Hill right there. Defender fell down. That's a big completion right there. Or maybe he likes the one-on-one matchup at the top. But look right here what Chenal's doing. He's immediately attacking Tua, and Tua has to get down. Look how fast he closes there, too. That's a great athletic play. Look at that quickness right there. Closing speed, Tua has to go down. Right? Because if you sit there, if you watch, if he doesn't go downfield, if he just kind of steps a little bit to his left and just kind of works a little bit, Tua has a chance to easily complete this ball, maybe go up top. And this is the difference between what's essentially a sack, right, and potentially a big play down the field for the offense. Watch this the entire time. Chenal takes away the crossing pattern, recognizes scramble, immediately gets downhill. Tua has to eat the football. That's top-notch, elite-level defense from a young linebacker. His performance, his play against this opponent was outstanding, and I think it will continue to carry through the rest of the season and the postseason as well. All right, we're going to end on another run defense. There is Chenal right there. And here the Miami Dolphins are just running kind of an outside zone kind of concept right here. They're just trying to get on the edge. And this is Chenal, again, acting as sort of a defensive end, outside linebacker, edge defender. And in these situations, your number one priority, if you're this guy, is you have got to have outside contain, which means you have got to set the edge. And against a team as fast as the Miami Dolphins, you cannot let them get outside. You have to force them to cut back inside to your help. Watch what Chenal does here. This may be his most technically sound rep of the entire game. All right, you can see the outside zone action right there to our right, the offense's right. You can see some of the eye candy working to the offense's left to kind of freeze the linebackers and safeties again for the Chiefs. It's just how the Miami Dolphins play. But again, focus on Chenal here, right here. One-on-one, he's going to be on 73, the right tackle. He's got to set that edge. Watch what he does. Oh, this is perfect right there. You can see how he has his inside arm in the right tackle's chest. His feet are parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he's got this edge perfectly set. Number 23, running back from Miami, can't bounce it outside. He has to cut it back inside to the Chiefs' help. Folks, this is technically perfect. This is what I would expect from a starting defensive end, a veteran defensive end in the NFL. I don't know if I would expect this from a young linebacker forced into a defensive end role via a game plan situation against the Dolphins offense. But he comes out and does a phenomenal job. Again, look at this. This is outstanding work. And he keeps fighting. I tell you what, this is great stuff. Because right here, the Dolphins are all about getting outside, all about out-leveraging the defense with their speed. But when you set an edge like this, it forces the running backs to cut back inside, right into your help, ends up being a limited gain. When you see Chris Jones, big number 95, work through and make these tackles like this, it's because of guys like Chenal doing their part. This effort right here from Chenal, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. But in terms of executing the defense at a high level and giving your team a chance to win, there's nothing better than this right here, folks.